All right, everyone. I don't know why I felt like I was doing my YouTube intro, but hey everyone. Hope we're all doing good. Let's just get into it. I'm really tired today. I got a DM. Okay, so I posted this 4 days ago. They replied 2 days ago. Every time I need to write some delta in the DF or R. What? Let's see if we can get a translate on the derive. Deep L. I don't know. It's probably not going to know the DF because that's just an abbreviation. But let's just see. See how deep this L really goes. Derivative. Okay, that's what I thought. But like, why would a? They said it's basic algebra. So, oh wait, or maybe it's derivation rather than derivative. Huh. It seems to be the domain from what they put there. I still don't know what the question is though. So it does seem like. So when they said it's this indeed, yes. Were they replying to this part? So let's at least give an answer in terms of the multiplication. Uh, minus 4/3, 3 minus 5x squared. I would start by squaring what's inside the parentheses. Minus 4/3. Let's actually do that equals, and then we'll kind of give the answer here because I mean it might be too long already because they initially posted the question 6 days ago, but please give them something. If they don't reply, then they don't reply. But so it should be 9 minus 3 times -5 is -15 times 2 is -30. Oops. Plus 5 times 5 is 25 squared. And then we multiply in the 4/3. Minus 4/3. Minus 4/3 times 9 is -12. Plus 40x minus 100 over 3 doesn't simplify. 3, then I'll put a space so it's hopefully clear that the x squared isn't on the bottom too. Actually, I'll put that in parentheses. That'll be a bit more clear, I think. still a bit hard to follow with the translation issues. But if df is what we'd call the domain, basically valid things you can put in for x, valid numbers, I should say, not things, then minus infinity to plus infinity, correct. For the notation, it's different from what I'm used to. It would be minus inf plus inf. For me, that may not be, but your situation may be different, but it may be different for you. How about that? I really shouldn't get too complicated with the English in case you're not that comfortable with it. I'm not sure what the delta would be. I don't even see delta on their page. Unless that's a weird delta. For me, actually, no, rather than I think I have seen that notation before with like the backwards brackets, but I don't really know. Let's post this and look for something new. It's a way to adapt a regression to any formula. Okay, we got some Spanish here. Let's see if I can read it. It's always fun to try to read Spanish. The results of a series of problems of flutes. No, that's not flute. Nope. Okay, I was really solid on the first, maybe third of this, and then I'm crapping out here. I'll report it in the table at 190 Celsius. Calculate the parameters for the models of the law of the potential and of Ellis. Indicate which is the model that better represents the something of data, the experiment data. Okay, so basically they have two different models and they have to indicate which is better. That'd be a much simpler way to boil this down, and this is their raw data. Mu, kappa, and alpha. Oh, it wasn't explained to them what this means? Let me see if Ellis's law stats. Don't use... Okay. I guess it's a law firm, but I don't think this is a... They're being asked to use a model that they weren't taught? That's kind of weird. think I can, it's been 16 hours. I can try with this one. Oh wait, it's not the law of Ellis, it's just Ellis's model, which it might be unique to this problem or something. Model and look for the one that fits the data the best. Um, the issue is that unless you know what each parameter means, lets you know what I'll be more specific. Mu k, or actually mu. I assume that is kappa. It's kind of hard to tell. Mu k and alpha actually mean you'll be stuck having to try like basically every combination. Or not every, but many different combinations or many different values. This might actually be one. Let's actually translate this. So I wonder if this is a science problem. Um, wait, German? No, you were just on English just a second ago. De una serie oh, how do I do the accent I? Okay, I guess it's coming across okay anyway. De pruebas de flujo para flow test. Oh, that's what flujo is. Polietileno. Polietileno? E wait. Polietileno. Polyethylene. Okay. Fundido. Cast polyethylene. At 190 degrees Celsius are reported in the table. Okay. Hmm. This doesn't really help. I would need to know what Ellis's thing is. Oh, I mean, I guess it kind of helps. You know what? I'm afraid something weird is going to come, so I'm going to hide my Firefox. Well, let me Google Ellis polyethylene. Poly. It was okay. Yeah, polyethylene. Uh, I'm seeing like plastic surgery things. Okay. As polyethylene? No? Okay. I have no I guess we would need to ask them. Find a model that they're referring to. They don't say that tau is a parameter or the sub e. So maybe they do have some knowledge of this. Oh, tau is given here. Okay. Wouldn't this be... Oh, no. Hey, Sensation. EA Sports is in the math, yeah. See, the issue is that the degree of that, like, it depends on the value of alpha. Because you have a tau here and a tau here, and that's your independent variable. So this could be linear, it could be quadratic, it could be constant, it could be a lot of things, depending on what alpha is. At the equation itself, what alpha is supposed to be seems very important. I mean, frat alpha, alpha, alpha. Aren't there actual like frats that are just like the same Greek letter 3 times? I feel like it's an actual thing. Very important. Since if alpha equals 2, for example, you would have a quadratic. Actually, I mean, I would say alpha equals 1. You would have a line and could do normal linear regression or fit a parabola if alpha equals 2, etc. The only 40-plus-year-old, by the time you get there, getting hazed. Oh god. It's like or into like 21 Jump Street, the movie where like two adult cops have to go undercover in a high school and like relive their high school years, but instead it's you with like college or university. All right, I hope this helps the person. I think the best that I can do for mine. I feel like they're probably not going to get another answer. Okay, let's see what this one is. 60G each? I assume this means 0.60. I mean, I would think about this as I I would just focus on one of the values at a time and see how many different combinations there are and what that leaves over for the other one. So assuming 60G. Hey, Shep. I'm pretty tired today, but other than that, I'm good. How about you? Focus on just comic books or just cards? Sadly, still the same. Oh, I'm sorry. Comic books, then we buy only comic books at 60G each. We can buy 10 comic books with no money left over for cards. If we buy 9 comic books, we would have 60G left over. And I didn't spend and can't afford a card pack. Since we have to spend all the money, she would have to buy another comic book, bringing us to the first case. So this one doesn't count. We buy 8. I'm not going to go through literally every combination. I'm trying to give this person like the logic to use to solve this one. You would spend 8 times 0.6 equals 4.8. Pack of cards. Eight books in 1 pack of cards. So far we have 2 different ways to spend all of her money. Buying 10 comic books or 8 comic books in 1 pack of cards. Would continue this line of logic down until she is buying no comic books and have the answer. Now, do we need to do the reverse where we look only at packs of cards? I don't think so, because 60 and 120 go into each other, or 60 goes into 120. So I don't think you'll get a different result if you do go back the other way. Yeah. Well, does 120 go into 600? 5 times. So yeah, we don't have to worry. Yeah, okay, you don't have to go and do the opposite. Let's post this. Okay, calculus volume help. F of x is negative x squared plus 3x, g of x is negative x plus 3. Find the region bound between the two graphs. Let's just verify their answer using Wolfram. I won't actually work it out. Oops, that's not Wolfram. Where is Wolfram? There. So this is a parabola facing down. I think it has to be the upper function. I guess we should plot these just to be absolutely sure. Minus x squared plus 3x and minus x plus 3. Okay, yeah, so the parabola is the upper function. U graphs? Wait, I thought you would love graphs. They intersect at 1 and 3. Okay. Like that? Oh yeah, you prefer them in the context of chemistry, I'm sure then. We have minus x squared plus 3x it was? Question mark? Yep. Close parentheses minus the lower function of negative x plus 3 dx. Should be 4/3 good. Solid with its bases region R has equilateral triangle cross sections perpendicular to the x-axis. What is its volume? Ooh, that's a fun one. You quite remember if you had to do this one? It's not uh that easy. Yeah, they just messed up the formatting sensation. I think it's supposed to be minus x squared, and they just didn't know how to do the superscript. But the fact that I assumed it was x squared and we got the same answer for the first result means that I think I'm right. Or I'm pretty sure that I'm right. Okay. Let's get this. I don't think it'll block Twitch chat right there. Let's hope. Whiteboard percent speedrun. Let's first draw a graph of what's happening with this equilateral triangle thing. So I'll do 1, 2, 3. And I guess we want 1, 2, 3. The line starts here. Oh wait, so the parabola is going to have 0 and 3 as its roots. I'm not going to draw it quite yet though. It'll also pass through, when x equals 1, the parabola is 2. Maybe I will draw it. Oops, okay. So let's just draw the parabola like that. It doesn't have to be super exact, but I'm trying to get the idea across. The line is going to go through this point, and this point, and that point. So I didn't really line this up quite right, but use your imagination a bit there. And this region in here is the region that we're concerned about, but between the two things. Chalk is better? I hate the sound of chalk. I don't know, I think whiteboards are super fun too. You write in lasers? Yeah. Hey, Cooks. Yeah. I'm definitely on team whiteboard. A laser? I think it's spelled LASCR unless Sensation is making a reference. But I'm sure you'll recognize it. Like a laser is like that, like a beam of light. So I don't know how that translates to you, but yeah. Okay, so if we have an equilateral triangle here, perpendicular to the x-axis. Okay, so let's draw an example of what one of these equilateral triangles would look like. Perpendicular to the x-axis is like that. And the base of the equilateral triangle basically goes from the line up to the parabola. And because it's equilateral, we know the height, or basically it's going to go as high, or the sides are going to be the same length as this base. So this is like me trying to do a 3D drawing. It's not working out the best, but... And then the height of this three-dimensional equilateral triangle is h, we'll say. Just to make it even more clear that it's equilateral, I'll put little tick marks there. So let's look at this, but flattened out into 2D. You were just stupid? No, we're shit. Let's actually match the colors. H, tick mark, tick mark, tick mark. This side length is equal to, I'll use f of x. Well, no, I'll do a minus x squared plus 3x minus x plus 3. Because this parabola minus that line is the distance between them at that point, and so that's also the length of the side of the triangle. So we want to figure out the area of this triangle, and by integrating this two-dimensional area, we go into a three-dimensional volume. How did I find the points quickly? Oh, like these points to draw the parabola and the line shape. I cheated a bit because I remembered the graph from Wolfram Alpha, but at least to get the line, I plugged in x equals 0, and I found that y equals 3, so I drew that point. And then because the slope of the line is -1, I knew it must go through that point at 1, 2. And I remember from cheating from the graph that the y intersects the parabola over at x equals 3. In the parabola, I found the zeros of it by factoring it in my head. So it hits the x-axis at x equals 0 and x equals 3. And I remember from the graph that they intersected at that 1, 2 point. So I cheated a bit, but I could have also figured it out. I was just being lazy. But okay, we're working on the area of that two-dimensional triangle. In area of the triangle is 1/2 base times height. Now the base is pretty easy. We already know the base. It's this function, whatever value it happens to have. The height is going to be slightly harder to find. We need to boil down, we need to basically cut this equilateral triangle in half and just work on this right triangle here. So because it's equilateral, we know that all the angles inside are 60 degrees. And we can use our trig functions to figure out what the height would be. So let me make some room. A is equal to 1/2. We know the base, as I already said, is that. Wait. Ugh. Minus x squared plus 3x minus -x plus 3. That's the base times the height. Let's use tangent here because we already have this side here figured out. It's going to be 1/2 of this entire side, so 1/2 of this. And tangent is opposite over adjacent. So tangent of 60, which is pi over 3. Brain is smoking from my telly. Sorry. It's kind of hard to, like, my mind is zooming ahead and I'm trying to like slow down, but yeah, uh I I I don't blame you. This isn't like an easy problem. Yeah, if like I could write this differently. 60 degrees. Tangent of 60 degrees in this scenario is equal to, wait, opposite over adjacent. Yeah, so h, opposite, over adjacent is half of that base there. So 1/2 minus x squared plus 3x minus negative x plus 3. Then we multiply each side by this denominator, and we get a value for h that we plug in down here. And tangent of 60 is tangent pi over 3. Tangent pi over 3, don't tell me, is root 3? I should actually check that. Let's not be much of a smart aleck. It's not showing up on stream, but it's root 3 over 2 over 1/2, which is root 3. Okay. So we have root 3 times all of this, and we have a 1/2, so I'm going to make it root 3 over 2. And then the same thing again. Oh, wait. But with the brackets outside. Almost forgot that. So that's our equation for the area of any of these triangles that we want to form here between the parabola and the line. We can do a lot of simplification on this. In fact, it'd be a great idea to do simplification before we try to integrate this. So let's actually do that. The root 3 over 2 can come all the way out to the front by, what's that? Commutative and associative. So let's bring it out. Root 3 over 2 times 1/2 is root 3 over 4. And then we just have this multiplied by itself, basically the same thing. So first, let's actually work inside the parentheses here and like combine that stuff together. So minus x squared has no common terms. 3x minus negative x is plus 4x. Minus positive 3 is minus 3. And then we get the same thing over here when we combine like terms. And this does factor. That doesn't necessarily help us, though. You kind of want to, for the sake of integration, you want that entire thing multiplied out. And I'm going to make Wolfram Alpha do it for me because I'm lazy. Minus x squared plus 4x minus 3 squared. I know it's not showing up quite right on stream, but I'm just going to copy it down here anyway. So that's equal to root 3 over 4 brackets x to the 4th minus 8x cubed plus 22x squared minus 24x. That's why I don't want to do this myself. Plus 9. Okay, that's our formula for the area of any given triangle. We don't want just one triangle, though. We want them all. So we need to make an integral. Let's come over here. I'll call it V for volume. Is equal to the integral. Our first intersection point is at 1. Our last intersection point is at x equals 3. Of this area we found down here. X to the 4th minus 8x cubed plus 22x squared minus 24x plus 9 dx. Now, I'm not going to actually do the integral for this person. That's going to be their contribution to this problem, but I'll probably give them the answer up until that point. I'll probably have to take a picture of this too. I might not take a picture of all of it though, because it's going to be a lot. What's for part 3? Volume of the solid defined by revolving r around the x-axis. It's just a simple solid revolution. We can do washers. That's what it's called. It's actually be pretty easy to set up in Wolfram as well. Just verify their answer. And I'll expand it out a bit so you guys can see it again. We slam up high in front because I'm using the formula for washers here. Now it's the upper function squared, which is the parabola, minus x squared plus 3x in parentheses squared, minus the lower function, negative x plus 3 in parentheses squared, and hit enter, and let's see what we get. 11.729, 11.729. They should really give it as an exact answer, 56 pi over 15, but they seem to be right. Unless they're supposed to plug it into a calculator, in which case that's okay. So it's going to be hard to describe this over text to this person. So that's why I think I want to draw a picture for them. Or I want to send them a picture of this. I'm going to erase, I think, the integral that I set up, though, because it's really confusingly laid out. And I'm going to take a screenshot of my main stream, I think. Okay. Let me... Oh, yeah, Firefox is already taken away. I'm going to open up my own stream. Take a screenshot. Give me 1 minute. I'm sorry if there's audio from it. Turn off the audio. Okay. Okay. Oh, is that a good screenshot? I think you can read everything. I need to... okay. That should be good. Let me upload it to Imager too. Sorry for the delay. Bam. Open up my files. Imager.com. New post. Let me make sure my link here works. Why is it flagged as 18 plus? One second. I'm gonna... If I give it a title. No? Okay, if I post it... Oh wait, no, I forgot to remove the image metadata. I mean, it's a screenshot, it's fine. I think Imager removes it too. Like this one, I don't even know why it would be considered erotic. Imager flagging image as 18 plus. Maybe because I don't have an account? One second. Let me try doing this again. Maybe if I actually post it out to the community, I mean, that feels like kind of a waste to actually put it out there like publicly though. I'd rather just have a direct. Grab link, copy. Stop. This is not, there's nothing adult about this. Ugh. Okay, I'm just gonna post it and say there's nothing wrong with it. Math being 18 plus, that's a first. Yeah, this is some very mature math that's happening here. I wouldn't want to inflict calculus on a less than 18-year-old. Third parts, but for the third part, professors usually prefer an exact answer rather than a decimal. But yours may have said different. For the second part, start by looking at one of the triangles they are asking you to form. I'll say equilateral. And find its area. Find a formula for its area. You would then integrate that area to find the volume. Integrate that area over the interval. Because it's hard to put into text, here's the formula I came up with when I did the problem on a whiteboard. No idea why Imgur marked it as 18 plus, but I promise it's a normal math problem. For my work, you would basically take the last line and integrate it over the interval. But you should understand where that came from in case you encounter a similar problem again. Please let me know if you have any questions, as it's a bit messy. Okay. Okay. That's a fun question. Oh, why didn't that work? Edit. Is it, oh, it's bracket? I got the brackets in parentheses backwards. I think it's brackets first and then parentheses. I can never remember that. Okay. I want to know what Imager thinks that is. I wish they would be more specific than just erotic or adult imagery. I do have a reply though. How you express this in a formula? Okay, so you guys weren't here for this one, but it's basically this like algebra problem here, I guess. But so we can make it an algebra problem, but it's really like only involving whole numbers. So I'll leave my screen there for a second if anyone is curious to read, and then I'll reply to this person. I already told them the logic of how to approach the problem without trying to make an equation for it, but it looks like they're asking specifically for an equation. I think it's just 60 cents. So I said that in my thing, and I think they said that that's right. So I just treat it as like 0.6. So I'm gonna scroll. Oh, actually, yeah, I can fit it both. I basically said just like start looking at the case where you only buy comic books. Well, you get 10, and then try buying 9 and see what happens. Try buying 8 and see what happens, and so on like that. But they want this in a formula, which is also possible. Oh, you can use whatever letters you like, but if X is the number of comic books and Y is the number of packs of cards. No, they're just asking about the 60G scene. Thing. B for books, C for cards. I mean, to me, I get more confused with B and C than X and Y. I'm gonna use X and Y because it makes me happy. I mean, for someone who's new to this, they might prefer B and C though. Actually, no, but C could be for comics. Makes you happy it can't be that bad. I don't know that. So the C thing is confusing, clearly. Or at least you could do C for comic book and P for pack of card. I don't know. S for what? Let's say SUPERHERO for superhero. I'd rather just do X and Y. X times 0.6 is the money spent on comic books, and Y times, I'll say 0.6 times X. Let's do it the other way around. I shouldn't have done it like that. And 1.20 times Y is the money spent on X of cards. D for deluxe packages, make sure you start with 8 of them. That I assume that's a reference. I'm I'm trying to figure it out though. We know the money spent must add the 6, so we can make the equation 6 equals 0.60x plus 120y. It's only valid for and it only makes sense for whole numbers for x and y. Oh, where 8 is the capital D. That's right. I made a YouTube short out of that little like sequence too. I think it's being posted probably tomorrow. I mean, you can spell it out if you want, Jed. Actually, yes, please spell it out. I don't understand what you're referring to. Okay, let's keep looking at this other one. Uh, oh yeah, you're right, Maxi. I did it the other way of looking at only the cheaper one, and there was some like superfluous cases. Like if you tried to buy only 9 of the cheaper one, it would basically fall into the case where you have to buy 10 because you have to spend all the money and not have any left over. 7S shifted 1 to the right. There you go. Or 7 minus S. There we go. Like a Caesar cipher. Oh wait, select all the ones that are right for this one. Okay. So yeah, the first one is appropriately check marked, I would think. Domain of rational function set of all real numbers, certainly not. Well, I mean, unless you have like a simple rational function like x plus 1 over 1, but they don't make that assumption, so. The composition of functions are commutative. Certainly not. Does an algebraic function mean something special? Algebraic function. Is the root of a polynomial equation. 1 over x is the root of a polynomial equation? Does the polynomial equation include rational functions? This is not including rational functions. What? Okay, should I get a different page than Wikipedia maybe? Right, Wolfram? Oh, they might have a page for it too. Uh, Actually, there was a Wolfram one right here. P of x comma f of x equals 0. Actually, this is honestly even less helpful. That seems weird to me though, with the way that they set it up. Let me look at this QMath one. Okay, so why isn't okay? I was getting stuck on this because the commenter said is f of x equal x plus 1 an algebraic function? Oh, because it's missing a plus, like a constant. I mean, well, I mean, I guess it should have more terms though too. Okay, I guess that's the point that they're making. this is one kind of an algebraic function, but there's many more because this only has one term. Okay. A subset, yeah, that's a good term to use. Like it would cover like this case and this case, but not the other two. Okay. I see what they're saying now. Every polynomial is also a rational function. Yep. Wait, this is a weird none of the above. The statements may appear in what seems to be a random order. So is this a random order and none of the above means everything? It's certainly not none of the above. But this is confusing. I assume these are excluded from the none of the above, but the domain of a composite function f of g is the set of x in the domain of g such g of x belongs to the domain of f. Yeah? Well, wouldn't this one, it should have a constant in front of it, right? Yeah, Maxie, that's a huge injustice for one. I assume because it doesn't make sense with 1 to the infinity, but you don't technically have infinity, I guess, so it should still work. But I assume that, like, that one should be wrong as well, right? The funny first option was none of the above just to really fuck with you. Let's not look at Wikipedia again. B to the x minus 8, yeah. Well, I guess the x minus a is basically the constant in front, though. Like, or you could absorb it in the case of you can make it into an a. You can define a as like b to the negative a or whatever. I guess it can be a constant part of the x though. Yeah, and also that. Okay, so that's something we can also add in. I was looking at because I want to see if they exclude b equals 1. Or yeah, they do use b here. They do exclude b equals 1. Exponential and trig functions are examples of algebraic functions. I guess trig functions are not algebraic. Okay. Alright, we can look at that one next, Jed. I already went through homework help once. If that one was recent, though, I wouldn't have seen it. As long as it doesn't have an answer already, I'll look at it. I think this is enough that needs to be said. All right, let's go what Jed posted. Go here. Somebody gave the cubic formula. I know it's your favorite, Maxi. Let's. Is there going to be a? Oh, there's nobody that groups, right? I guess rational root theorem. They did indeed. Yeah, no, this one has too many answers already. Like, I don't have anything to contribute here. I'll say I kind of like the numerical way this person says, because you know it's going to be a clean answer. Or at least you can be pretty sure it's going to be a clean answer. And it's going to be quicker than having to do synthetic division a bunch of different times. Or doing, I guess the numerical way is basically substitution too. So we can upvote and move on, but I don't have anything else to like say that hasn't already been said here. Oh, would it? Yeah, I've never heard like people simplify this to quadratic for the sake of finding the zeros. Or I'm not sure like what that means. Either way, it's just easier to plug stuff in. Got a nasty way of doing it? Okay. Oh, well, what a weird formula. What are they asking about? A couple extra steps shown for this one. It would help if they gave us the entire context, unless they just mean, unless we have to just accept these substitutions as correct. Oh, okay. I think I see what they're getting tripped up on. It has no integer roots. Oh, that's just mean of the professor who gave that then. What is this monitor, by the way? Who has a yellow monitor? This has to be some school computer or something. Like no sane person would buy a yellow monitor, I feel like. Uh Bad lighting? Having some crazy lighting. Consider the factorization ax plus d, bx plus e, cx plus f. Get some equations for the unknowns. Oh my god. I assume that works. I don't know if you get a solvable system though. Or the way that you're saying, Jed. It- I feel like if it was simpler than the cubic formula, that would be a bigger thing. Or maybe it only works sometimes, but not all the times. Um, okay, anyway, let's see if we can, if they're getting tripped up on like combining the powers of y. Uh, I wish they were more specific about which line, because I could really explain a bunch of different parts of this problem, but I think they're only tripped up on one thing. Uh, some like basic linear algebra applies. I mean, I don't know why Jed's way like wouldn't work, but I assume there's something that makes it at least not always work. I guess it definitely wouldn't work for like imaginary solutions like the cubic formula would. Why would they leave a 2 over here? That seems weird. Equals 775. This It does seem like an inefficient way of doing the algebra, for what it's worth. Solve the problem, I would focus on the right side, since everything is multiplication and division. I would multiply / divide all the actual numbers as given, then multiply y squared and actually, keep in mind that 0.5y to the 2/3 is equal to 0.5 to the 2/3 times y to the 2/3. Then multiply y squared times y to the 2/3 equals y to the 8/3, since the exponents add. You know that a times b times c equals 12. There are only so many combinations to make that work. Oh, I see what you're saying, Jed. So it probably wouldn't work as well for irrational solutions as well. Cooks, the question is just, they need a couple extra steps shown for this one, so I think they're getting confused on the algebra that's being done here, or even just the arithmetic. So I don't want to explain the entire thing. It's kind of a pain, and I'd rather them be more specific, but I think they just don't get what's happening here. Which it is a lot to look at. Problem to divide by, yeah, because it's all multiplication and division, so you can split it up by the numbers and the variables. Why can all numbers be prime factorized? This feels like a definition thing rather than a proof thing. I don't really have that. I don't know what the answer to this person's question would be, though. It's an empty set? Huh. This would be a good thing for Wikipedia. It's provable? Oh, I assumed it was just the way that we defined like prime numbers and factorization and like factors. Fundamental theorem. Oh, I didn't know there was a fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Every integer greater than 1. Well, I don't know, Maxi. Wikipedia disagrees. Oh, of course, Gauss did this. Sorry, Gavs. I wonder why that's a V. Old-fashioned printing, I guess. The fundamental theorem is a lot stronger. Isn't this it? This does say uniquely. Empty product. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I do have mail, but let me... Oh, Euclid even did this. I mean, I can just link them to the Wikipedia page and like... A number be the least that is measured by prime numbers. It will not be measured by any other prime number except those originally measuring it. This is why... Ugh. Like, this is why, like, looking at historical math books is really hard. Because, like, our the modern notation that we're used to wasn't originally even like started until like the 1500s, and it evolved a lot since then. Because like I know this is like supposed to say, but if I just had to only read this and figure it out, it would take me a long time. Yeah, we can just link them this page, and the rest is their problem. We should just show that every non-zero prime ideal of the integers contains a prime element. What is an ideal? Oh, okay. Oh, here's one. Uh, you still okay? Yeah. So this is a good one to see for a Calc student because this definitely is a U sub, but you have to play around with your U sub in a way that isn't obviously if you haven't seen it before. Okay. So we have the integral x times 24 minus x in parentheses the power of 7 over 2 dx. So you can, in theory, well, I mean, you can't really expand out 7 over 2, can you? So no, I guess you have to do a U sub. So yeah, it's kind of like the over 2 part that's really messing us up here. If the over 2 was gone, we could, in theory, just expand everything out. That would take a long time to the 7th, but it's possible. But since there's a square root involved, things get more complicated, and you really do want to do a U sub here. And I'm going to do U equals what's inside the complicated part, because I want to make that complicated part simpler. U is equal to 24 minus x. Du then is equal to minus dx. 24 derives to 0, minus x derives to minus 1. And let's plug this in. The x is still just x for now. The 24 minus x becomes u. The 7 over 2 du. And we do need to bring in the minus sign. I'll put it way out front there. And now we have a problem with the x, because we're integrating in terms of u now. We still have the x here, so we can rearrange our u sub to solve it for x, actually. So if u is 24 minus x, then x is, let me make sure I'm getting the signs right, 24 minus u Because you would subtract 24 and then divide by -1 or multiply. So yeah, it will be 24 minus u. So we can plug this in over there for that x. 24 minus u times u to the 7 over 2 du. Now we can multiply this u in, and we have a much simpler integral to do. 24u to the 7 over 2 minus, same base, so the exponents add. There's an invisible 1 there. 1 plus 7 over 2 is 9 over 2. Minus u to the 9 over 2 du. And that you can integrate directly, which we don't need to do for the person. I think they just need to see that kind of trick there. So let's type out an answer for them. There we go. Great. If you do u equals 24 minus x, the x in front doesn't cancel. However, there's a trick. So I'm sure it was 24 minus x. Oops, let me get that back where it should be. Each trick we can do. If u equals 24 minus x, then x equals 24 minus u. We can plug that in to get 24 minus u times u to the 7 over 2. We can multiply in the u, the 7 over 2, and get something you can integrate directly. Okay, hopefully that helps the person. If they get the same denominator, intercept needs to be continuous or even defined. That's true, Maxi, yeah. So if they do multiply the one on the right, sorry, oh, that's not really that much bigger. If they do multiply the one on the right by x plus 1, it's in parentheses, so I would think the limit is the entire thing. But if they did have x plus 1 up here, it'd be 2 minus x plus 1 on top over x squared minus 1. Let me try this, because I bet there's going to be simplification here. And I bet that someone's going to beat me to it, but so be it. Two over x squared minus 1 minus 1 over x minus 1. So multiply this one by x plus 1 over x plus 1. 2 over x squared minus 1 minus x plus 1 over x squared minus 1. That's a difference of 2 squares, so that's why I did the math so quickly, and I don't want someone else to beat me to answering this one if I can help it. So we do 2 minus x plus 1. The x plus 1, the minus sign goes to both of these terms, so it's going to be minus x plus 1 over x squared minus 1. I don't know why I'm doing this. So, well, I do know why I'm doing it so sloppy. I'm going to factor out the minus sign from the top. Minus x minus 1 over x plus 1 times x minus 1, just to factor out the bottom. these two cancel. We get -1 over x plus 1, and the limit becomes, or it becomes defined now, because as x approaches 1, we get -1/2. Okay. Let me plug this into Wolfram Alpha quickly, just to be sure. I just want to see the graph of it. -1 over x minus 1. Oh, wait. As x approaches 1, we get two different values. So why did I get an actual number for this? Shouldn't it have been undefined? Sorry, I was doing it quick because I wanted to like respond to this one before someone else did. But I'm realizing it's more complicated than I thought. So maybe I need to slow down. So wait, what did you say, Spetri? Earnestly wonder if there's a formula for calculating investment if someone has a steady income and invest their income as soon as they get it, if we assume the profit of said investment is 5% per year. I assume there's gonna be calculators like that. It's like an investment calculator if you're to Google one. Oh wait, it's 2 over x squared minus 1. That makes more sense. I just typed it in wrong. Now it's defined for x equals 1. Okay. It helps if to type in the actual problem right. Did I get beaten to it? Not yet. Okay, good. Oh shoot, my Discord isn't. I'm just saying yes to getting a common denominator. You tried that but failed miserably. I assume so. Oh, that's a funny problem. What do you do every other one? Unless there's an odd number of light bulbs. Okay, thank you, NoCal. I'm glad your vacation went well. But yeah, sleep well or use stonk. And thank you for keeping your sub going too. Whereas if 3 goes into it, I think the problem is trivial. Oh, you already found him, Maxi? Yep, see you soon, NoCal. Clicking on a cell toggles that cell and each of its immediate neighbors. The goal is to turn out all the lights, ideally with a minimum number of clicks. Oh, cool. So I click that one. So I turn that one on. Wait, is filled in on or off? I, White is on? Okay. Okay, yeah, wait, new. So we want to make them all filled in. This is super weird. I feel like you want to start from one of the corners and work your way out? There must be a technique. Oh, well, I mean, just like that, I got a pretty decent... Oh, no. Oh, no. Well, I thought I was doing well. No, you must have to, like, get some part of it completely filled in, and then you work way based off that, and you're gonna have to erase your progress sometimes, and just know how to deal with it. I definitely don't know the pattern here, though. Yeah, okay. That game could get really addicting to try and figure it out for yourself. Uh, Whoa, okay, this needs to be in full screen. I'm just gonna cover myself up. This website could be a lot better, I'm gonna be honest. Oh, it's zoomed in. I don't... Okay. Well, my bad for ragging on the website. I was just zoomed in way too much. You did it, Shep? You might be a genius. No idea how, but I did. Principle of resolution is mathematical by modeling the grid matrix a sub I of size n by m in p greater than 2 possible states. This seems like it gives the premise of how you solve it, but not how the actual math works. Why is my phone... Why is the screen black? Did my phone run out of battery? My phone ran out of battery. Well, frick. I never had that happen to me, but before. Uh, well, I no longer have a camera because I use my phone as a camera, and I normally don't have to plug it in, but apparently I did today. I'm just gonna make this full screen, and let's make this the last one for the day. Uh, Interesting. 25-dimensional vector? My mic still works. Okay, good. Yeah, I just want to make sure that my mic didn't run out of batteries too. I wonder, I'd love to like boil this down to the case where they ask for with basically like the one-dimensional case. But the linear algebra is still pretty applicable because it's just a fancy oh. Actually, no. Well, this person doesn't. Say the whites out game. We can link them to both the game and to this explanation, though. It seems more like solved more as a computer science problem. But we can at least link them to this. And they can do the rest. The game you described looks like a one-dimensional version of lights out. Or sounds like, not looks like. Thank you for finding those links as well, Maxi. A discussion of or one example of a discussion and solving it is here. But there are more examples elsewhere. I'm sure the matrices would be collapsed into a system in the case you described, but not familiar enough with this area to comment much further. Okay, so let's give them this. Make sure my links work. Okay, good. Also good. Okay. Thank you for that, Maxi. I guess I kind of need to call the stream here because my phone ran out of juice. I'm not gonna play any games today because I'm tired and I've been streaming way too much the last two weeks. But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow with video games of some kind. I don't have any plans yet. And then Thursday will be my next math stream. So yeah, thanks so much everyone who's been hanging out with me, whether you're talking or lurking. I appreciate you. And I'm gonna try to get my schedule back up on Twitch, but it was being like glitchy. Yeah, I hope everyone has a good day. Hope you too have a good day, Shep. And yeah, thanks so much everyone, and bye.